best game, they would have every character balanced and every character usable. There would be no fucking meta that it would exist. Oh, wait a minute. Meta fucking does exist, and people fucking use those characters, and nobody but those fucking characters. It is not game of the fucking year.
It is the game of the year. I don't know what to tell you. All right, we are back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are doing post coverage of the Video Game Awards here on Out of Order Show. Just getting one thing set up. Not the king. Not the king at this. So give me a darn second to get all this doohickey stream going. All right, and we're back. And Derek with the salt. So much salt. I could just feel the salt raining down from the heavens. To say, so a comment came up during PC Culture is dead. I don't know how you can even say that with a straight face. PC Culture just won the huge victory right now.
But if it was PC exclusive.
Yeah, but it's primarily like a PC driven game. Like
no, because they're still like updating the living shit out of the console versions.
But they're constantly updating all versions of that game.
They're the only thing that the PC version has up on Overwatch is the PTR. Yeah. That's about it.
So post discussions, anything that stood out for you that we want to talk over? Let's just go straight to like the nominees. So obviously, of course, Game of the Year goes to Overwatch, which was even last year, even in the obligatory Game Awards that Total Biscuit holds, even he said, like, he had to come out with 2 separate videos, basically explain like Overwatch was the best game of the year, but it wasn't released. It was a beta, so he gave it to Undertale, which I totally agree with. But a lot of people last year were like, yeah, this is totally game of the year. This is totally like what we wanted, like we wanted Blizzard to come out with, a breath of fresh air, just total like awesomeness coming out from Blizzard. So, your thoughts? You can let the salt flow now.
Dude, I am so salt rich right now that I can go to Salty Bets and fucking win over everything.
You're just like the sodium levels.
Oh my god, dude.
The sodium levels are just off the chain right now.
You could wring me out and put me in like ramen soup. There's so much fucking sodium. Oh.
Damn. That's just for me. It's like
I'm Lunchables level sodium, dude. This
Lunchables.
is fucking. Do you know how much sodium is in those things?
I don't know, but I bet
it's crazy unhealthy amounts. But like, oh god.
Let's see.
Overwatch should not have won that shit. You need to play Doom though. Doom is so good.
Damn.
I think out of all these nominations though, I would have to say Doom is probably my game.
Okay.
Like Doom was really good. Overwatch, really good. Like
So why is it that you think Doom should have won? Because of just everything that like encompassed the game, the legacy of the game, like what exactly was your decision?
Because everything about that game was actually a hell of a lot more thought out. Okay. It was like the story was a lot more thought out. In fact, it actually may or may not play off of the original Doom games.
Mm-hmm. But especially with Doom 3, that ending was very like Doom franchise.
As far as I know, Doom 3 didn't technically exist.
Really? In the
no. But I know it's supposed to be I know it's technically supposed to be a reboot because of the fact that it's called Doom, not Doom 4. But it's but yeah, like I don't want to say any spoilers. Anyway, there's a lot more plot behind it than Overwatch, I think. And I think that I don't know.
You don't know. All right.
Like it's graphically, it's a fuck ton better too. Holy crap!
So your winner is 2016 Overwatch. A lot of people are going to be. There's a definitely majority of people. So you have like the indie darlings who are going to be like, Inside should have got it. It was like the most. It was the most like creative game as far as gaminess is concerned. Obviously, you're supported for Doom, and
Yes.
I've heard a lot of people say that Doom, not the game of the year contender, but just as far as just a game, it's like the best Doom game that Doom could possibly be.
Yes, absolutely. Like if there was any reboots to be done, that's the way to do it.
And then
Like it's good. And the
as
music
far as
holy
Titanfall
fuck.
2 and Uncharted 4 is concerned, I think Uncharted 4 had a lot of expectation going into it, and it's still one of the best gaming franchises. But it was definitely like the swan song. It was definitely like, we're gonna put this aside. It's no longer like, it is the end of Drake's story. Let's not celebrate the game franchise. Let's celebrate the man behind Nathan Drake. But we'll get more into that as soon as we go down the list. So, best studio / game direction. Once again, Blizzard. Blizzard, not just for Overwatch, but I think this year alone, Blizzard has come to full circle. Even though they didn't have they had two major releases, both World of Warcraft Legion, Overwatch. Hearthstone coming out the gate with more and more content with the new Streets of Gadgetzan. I was kind of hoping for something new with StarCraft 2 series, but they've just kind of let that series, like, it's just gonna fade into the obscure, because the co-op missions in the series for StarCraft 2, they're more for the casual audience, not for like the hardcore competitive scene, but the hardcore competitive scene is still going to be there.
Yeah.
And then finally, Heroes of the Storm. It's a mediocre MOBA, but they're trying their best to kind of like bring people in, especially with the things that they're doing right now with they're giving out free characters and the Genji skin. And then lastly, like Diablo, the anniversary, next year we're going to get the Necromancer and a remake of Diablo 1 using the Diablo 3 engine, which is going to be pretty insane. So, shoutouts to Blizzard. Like I said, I think they deserve that with the best direction studio. As far as like ID Software, it's just Doom. It should have been Bethesda for Doom, Dishonored 2, because they came out with a lot of good games this year, instead of just have it be ID Software. Naughty Dog.
Well, but that's just the problem though. Like Blizzard is the publisher and developer,
Yeah.
and then you have ID Software who is the developer. Like I don't think that's a problem at all.
And then DICE with Battlefield 1. I think DICE is just, they're kind of like cruising right now because they know they're going to have something big come out when, the Star Wars franchise is either finishing up or it's in the middle of its like, predecessor. They're going to have a secure future. So DICE, shout outs to DICE. They did an amazing job with the Battlefront series. It could have been better. It could have been a lot worse, but they found a nice middle ground for that series. So, and then with Battlefield 1, a lot of people were like, why are you going backwards and calling it Battlefield 1? But apparently it's still, it's a like,
Probably because it's World War One.
yeah, it's a hearken to like what
Because
made,
I said the same thing about Xbox One.
yeah.
Like I didn't understand. I still don't understand why the fuck they call it Xbox
And then,
One.
like I said, Respawn, wrong place, wrong time. If they would have came out with this game during the summer, I think Titanfall 2 would have done a lot better, especially during the drought of the summertime. Like, a lot of franchises need to really take advantage of the summertime drought and, really, want to push their games out that time. Because the fall season, competing with, like, the Call of Duties and the Battlefields and they did Gears of War 4, which apparently is doing really great.
I think Titanfall probably would have won at least one award if they didn't fucking release it at the same time as Battlefield.
Yeah.
Like the exposure it fucking got, like, because most of the awards were voted on by major gaming websites and journalists and stuff like that, and all their attention was on Battlefield.
Yeah.
It wasn't on Titanfall at all.
So best narrative went out to Uncharted. Like I said, didn't win best game of the year, but the Uncharted 4 is it's a story about one man. It's about Nathan Drake finally coming to terms with his years and years and years of exploration and adventure. Like, I think that was very perfect, because it's like, it's not game of the year worthy, but it definitely should be nodded that it got this. It was a closure. It was like closing the book on that franchise. But apparently there might be more on the horizon. We'll see. Oxenfree, Mafia, Inside. Like, a lot of people are going to complain about Firewatch and Inside, especially the indie darlings. I thought Firewatch was amazing the first hour, and then it just blew up in people's faces towards the end. And then I now this is like screaming in the back of my mind, I have to play Inside now. I got to see why it landed in so many different categories, and I'm going to be one of those people to play it.
Right.
Let's go to best art direction now. Which game to Inside. Once again, I feel like I have to repeat myself, screaming in the back of my head, like, you got to play this game now. This game is like on everybody's minds, and everybody wants to talk about it. So definitely going to be one of those like sessions where I'm going to have to figure out how to get this game and play it. Any thoughts on do you think it was like the best art direction?
The style is fine, but unfortunately, to me, like, there wasn't very much color to the game at all. It was mostly like murky gray, black and white, and I mean, like, there's still like there is color to it, like you still see reds, yellows, and stuff like that, but it just, I don't know, like, I guess the lighting kind of took over and just like washed out everything. And like, but once again, though, it's like the way everything looks, like the models and the effects and everything like that, are pretty damn nice.
Yeah. So, best music / sound design, Doom. They had a tremendous performance. It was fucking metal as fuck. It was hardcore. Definitely enjoyed that. Versus Battlefield 1. You said that you thought Battlefield 1 sound.
It says yes. The music, not so much, because I mean, what do you expect out of a Battlefield game?
Yeah.
But if you actually if you watched some Battlefield 1 gameplay footage without like somebody commentating or anything like that, like, it's a fucking war.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were able to, recreate that is just simply amazing in itself. But Doom ended up winning because of its music, and the sound effects not so much. I mean, like some of the gunshots are great, but like some of the monsters are all right.
All right.
I was kind of rooting for Thumper, but once again, I said this before, Thumper's music was great, but when you play the game, halfway through, you're gonna realize it's pretty much the same fucking song through and through. So it's like you have a rhythm game with one song, and it's like, no.
Moving on to obviously best performer, Nolan North.
Yeah.
Veteran of the game industry, like just the game in general. Like you said, 10 years he's devoted to this franchise. So real shout outs to him. Like, there was nobody else could have won that award besides him. But I will say that Rich Sumner, he's a professional actor. He's been on Mad Men and numerous other like comedy troupes and comedy shows. So, but that shows that like real actors can join in on the video game side of things and be treated like as like serious actors. And he did give part of the speech where like he would be nothing without like the developers, without the programmers, without like the artists behind the game. Like, his performance means nothing without their support and their performance. Yep. And I mean, that was like the trend the entire night. I feel like that's going to be a trend from now on, because last year it was the same thing. Greg Miller gave a speech about like, when those titles, like when the credits are rolling, there's all these people, the thankless heroes of the whole entire franchise. Like, that is like the trend, that like all these people coming together and they're just saying out loud like, thank you for putting us in this world. And even when we get to Boogie, we'll even talk about like what he said. But definitely Nolan North, congratulations on him. Game for Impact Awards, obviously, That Dragon Cancer. Really brutal, really heart-wrenching story, like making a story about your dying son. Like, he definitely showed the feels as we were watching. You know, people in chat were currently just doing the Bible thumb spam.
Yep.
So shout outs to him. Took a lot of courage to create a game like that.
And then mentioned Ouya.
Yeah. The Ouya.
I get it was supposed to be like a, you know, it was all supposed to be about feelings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he mentioned Ouya, somebody was like,
so this was like the sniper sort of announcement. I feel like the best indie game should have had its own like stage performance, but it kind of snuck in on Inside. So Inside obviously won best independent game, which was complete robbery. Stardew Valley should have definitely.
Yeah.
The
game is addicting for a reason. And Inside, you play through it like twice.
Yeah.
That's about it.
You know, a lot of people, Camp Santo, feel like the Indie Dart, like all these games are great. You should play every single one of these games. The Witness, maybe not so much because I think it's a little pretentious and mind-numbing, but it's a very interactive puzzle game. Like it makes you use outside like tools, like pieces of paper to kind of shape objects, which I guess is kind of like going a step further in game immersion. You actually having to go out and solve puzzles using like real life objects rather than using the tools in game. So I think that's cool. But yeah, Stardew Valley, like the sprite work, the music, the enriched like story in it, all the customization. Yeah, it's just
Sorry, go on.
It has it's basically Harvest Moon, and Harvest Moon was produced by fucking Nintendo. And like that's a AAA studio, and this guy made like Chucklefish Games.
I thought it was Natsumi who ended up doing Harvest Moon.
Really? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, because Harvest Moon was on PlayStation.
Yeah.
At one point.
And then Hyper Life Drifter, I feel like it just is cool. It's a cool
it's a cool Zelda-like game.
Yeah. Like
classic Zelda type game. But one game I'm actually surprised that didn't make it on there was Fury.
Yeah.
Fury, like its music, its gameplay, its art direction was fucking great.
We had a lot of great indie games, and like I said, this category was probably, I would say, the hardest category throughout the whole VGAs or the Game Awards. There's no more VG in it, so yeah.
But yeah, Stardew Valley, we see you, man. We acknowledge you.
Yeah. Best mobile handheld game, fucking Pokemon Go, no brainer.
Yeah. Moving on.
Best VR game. This one was like really fast, and this one also, which was Res Infinite. I think Job Simulator, just because it's really quirky, it's really funny. It kind of has this sort of like, hey, check it out. We're doing like all this like making fun of humans and doing day-to-day jobs, and none of this means anything. And it's kind of dystopian.
To me, the game felt more like, it felt more like a tech demo. You know, like because it came out around that, like around the time that fucking Oculus and oh my god, I can't the Vive. There we go.
The Vive. I was like,
the Rift and the Vive ended up coming out, and that was practically a launch game.
Yeah. So best action game.
I think it should have been Eve Valkyrie.
Doom, which like do you really consider it an action game? It's a first-person shooter.
So it's an action game.
Okay. I would have given it to Titanfall 2 because there's more action going on. There's platforming. There's all spoiler. There's like a time jumping level, which I was like, time travel in fucking Titanfall. What the fuck?
But actually, it does. From what I've seen, it does it really well though.
Yeah. And even in Dishonored 2, there's a time traveling mechanic, and I thought that was very actiony as well. So, shout outs to this category for being a really tough category.
Doom fucking got that shit. And I'm actually really glad Doom got that, because that game, people just need to play that game.
Best action/adventure game went to Dishonored 2. So that one I kind of, even though I'm having problems with it on the PC, I definitely enjoy the action part of it. Like everything feels very like swashbuckler if you do like a murder death kill run, and then you could be super precise and super stealthy with a non-lethal run. So the fact that you get those options is actually wonderful. But Hitman also follows the same direction too. You can do a total like silent takedown, kill the guy without actually killing him, like, or you could go balls to the wall and like shoot.
You can make it look like an accident. You can just go guns blazing, but they make it where it's like you have 20 different ways of taking out your target.
Yeah.
You know, and as much as I really don't like the whole like, oh, we're gonna release Hitman by episode, you know, I like for some reason to me, I don't think that's
too bad.
I kind of don't like that, but at the same time, I kind of see why they did.
Yeah.
But I think Hitman should have got that one.
Hyper Light Drifter, Ratchet and Clank, Uncharted 4. The most action.
Actually, I heard Ratchet and Clank. Yeah. The Ratchet and Clank remake was really good.
I will give shout outs to Ratchet and Clank. I think that game is the most action adventure game out of the whole category.
Yeah.
So, best role playing game, total stole like fucking Blood and Wine. They don't even have it. There's not even a bar saying one. Because they're like, well, we don't fucking care who run this category. I would say World of Warcraft Legion. I thought it's the best role playing game. Like the first levels, like each zone you go into, there's their own story with its own cinematic. Like I said, Blizzard really.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is though that like, you were saying that like Blood and Wine shouldn't have won because it's an expansion. That's what Legion is.
Yeah, but like it's its own story. It's an expansion.
Yeah, but Blood and Wine is as big as the original campaign of The Witcher.
Is it?
Yes.
Witcher 3 or Witcher?
Yeah, Witcher 3. It's almost as fucking big.
That's crazy.
I'm not exaggerating.
Wow. Okay. So then maybe yeah. Okay, I'll give it that then.
But for me in that whole selection, I kind of wanted Deus Ex. Even though the story, even though the story was, like I really enjoyed Deus Ex. But I'm also a sucker for Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Best fighting game, obviously Street Fighter. Yeah. I really wanted Pokken because I heard Killer Instinct Season 3 had it has its problems, but they're working on balancing. King of Fighters 14 has netcode issues. Street Fighter 5 has netcode issues. Pokken is the one game out of every single one of those games that have zero netcode issues. It's a very diverse game. It had fucking shoutouts to Nintendo and Pokemon coming out with a really technical fighting game in the first place with the help of Tekken, obviously. But like Bandai Namco,
Namco Bandai,
Bandai, but yeah, Street Fighter 5. It's Street Fighter. Like you can't ignore Street Fighter's legacy. So
yeah, but. Street Fighter 5 specifically as a game was completely unfinished.
Yeah, and it's an underwhelming game. When I was at BlizzCon, this is like a tidbit, but when I was waiting in line at BlizzCon, I ran into E.G. Borog, Eddie, who's he's a Puerto Rican Street Fighter, he hasn't won EVO, but he's consistently in the semifinals every year. And I was like, oh man, are you going to be at Capcom Cup this year? He's like, I didn't qualify, but Street Fighter 5 isn't really what I'm into. And it's wow, your whole career is based off Street Fighter and you are not even into Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
So he's kind of waiting for what everybody is, a season 2, a roster update, balancing maybe different EXs or different V triggers. Yeah. Best family game went to
Dragon Quest Builders. Should have won that shit.
Really? I thought Lego Star Wars. I love the Lego Star Wars, the Lego franchise stuff. But it went to Pokemon Go, which congratulations to them. Best strategy game, Total Robbery, but it's a win.
2,
it's a win-win for 2K because they had 2 games up there. Firaxis Games had both Civilization and XCOM 2.
Shit, I should have checked. I when the nominees went up, I probably should have checked the 2K game stocks.
Yeah. although I love Banner Saga 1, I never got around to play Banner Saga 2 because it's so depressing. It's such a depressing game. And then I heard a lot of good things about Total War Hammer or Warhammer.
Yeah.
But it's just, I give me 40K. Don't give me this fucking fantasy bullshit. Give me fucking 40K.
Nah, for a game like that, I'm glad it was 40K. But if there's any 40K game that I dream for, it's a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Like if they ended up doing Vermintide with 40K, it would have been amazing. But
there's some talks about it.
No, it's Deathwing.
Yeah, Deathwing.
It's already coming. I think it's coming out this year. But
the year's almost over. I think it's coming out next year.
I don't know.
Right.
But at the moment though, the game it's not like Vermintide.
Best sports game / racing game, which I kind of feel like combining those two categories is kind of cheap, but you know, sports games and racing games, they're very few and limited, so they just
yeah, there haven't been a whole lot of racing games.
Forza Horizon 3, so shout out to them.
Yeah. I give the other games credit though, like FIFA having like a story mode and actually being a really good story.
Yeah.
Same goes with the NBA 2K games.
Yeah.
After 16, that is like 16 and beyond.
Yeah. Best multiplayer game.
But PES, no.
Yeah.
Fucking Konami.
Fucking Konami. Best multiplayer game went to Overwatch. Now, I say Overcooked because I thought Overcooked was just fun, and it's like the best fun game to play with friends. But actually, Rainbow Six Siege is like, it renewed like the strategy, like, and a lot of Ubisoft games are doing this now where it's like their initial launch game sucks, but then over time they work out the bugs, they listen to the community feedback, and it evolves into a better game. Same thing with Division. Division, its launch really sucked, but now it's evolving to a better game with like better incentive. And like, I think that's what's Ubisoft's like strength right now, is that more so than even Blizzard, they really take the community feedback of their games and they make them better overall in a period of time. Whereas Overwatch and Blizzard, it's like it's typical Blizzard, it's ready when it's ready sort of attitude.
Games like Overwatch are more fall under the rules of MOBAs.
Yeah.
It'll constantly get updated. Characters are going to be worth using. That's pretty much it.
Definitely, if you guys can.
Rainbow Six Siege, I think should have. I would have been happy for Rainbow Six to win.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, everybody should check out Overcooked. It's playful. It's fun. It makes you appreciate food. And then fan choices, best esports player. Sadly, it went to Coldzera. It should have gone to my boy Hitbox, Hungrybox. Fucking Hungrybox, man. Oh well, it's fine. If it wasn't for Hungrybox, then I definitely would want to go for Infiltration. But CS:GO, man, that CS:GO, that brand is too strong. I'm surprised Faker didn't win, but I think it would have been obvious if Faker would have gotten it.
Yeah.
Best esports team. Glad that Cloud9 got it.
Yep.
SK Gaming would have been my second pick too, and according to the judges and the voting, it was really close. So grats to Cloud Gaming. Best esports game. You were right. Street Fighter V. No, it wasn't Street Fighter. It was Overwatch. My bad. I was wrong. I totally forgot. It was totally Overwatch, and rightfully so, because Overwatch is the best game of the year. They didn't talk. You know what? They didn't do fan creation. I think that was in the pre-show, but I think it went to Enderal, which is like a total conversion of Skyrim. And I heard it's really dark and it's really hard, and that's just something that doesn't appeal to me. And then Brutal Doom. I love the original Brutal Doom on PC, but I didn't know they made a Brutal Doom 64, so I gotta go check that out.
Yeah, they ended up redoing Doom 64. Actually, I ended up finding out something about Doom, but it's kind of complicated to actually talk about.
And then most anticipated game, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm super stoked. I would have been for Red Dead Redemption 2, but it didn't show anything. How can I be anticipated for a 30-second clip of a town and a prairie and rolling hills? Like, I can't
Because,
anticipate that.
Wasn't it announced about a year and a half ago?
No, it was announced a month ago.
Yeah. I mean, it was only a month ago that it got announced.
Yeah, and they.
So, I
and
mean, you're talking about a game that's going up against another game that's
but
been announced
it
a year and a
hasn't
half
showed
ago.
me. And how can I be anticipating a game that hasn't showed me shit? Breath of the Wild, I've played it. I've played 45 minutes of it.
Well, I
and
mean,
want
we've seen.
more of it.
I mean, we ended up seeing Mass Effect Andromeda, but we didn't see actual gameplay until tonight.
yeah, but like I said, they got some big shoes to fill with Mass Effect Andromeda. Like, I am surprised that they even are bold enough to even come out with the game.
But even then, like Red Dead. But the thing is, though, as the most anticipated, like anything Rockstar brings out.
It'll win Game of the Year next year, totally. But
oh fuck yeah!
But for as far as anticipation goes, it didn't show me anything that I wanted. I wanted more, and they just said, "Sorry, we can't show you more."
Yeah, but we're talking. But like, if you actually look at the reactions people ended up getting over from Zelda as opposed to Red Dead Redemption, fucking like 2/3 of the fucking internet exploded.
Yeah.
The moment that they were like Red Dead 2. It was.
All right.
Although Red Dead Redemption 2, come on, they could have done a better name than that.
So as far as the news, we got to see the opening up with the Icon Award. Kojima-san just fucking opening it up with the new fucking Death Stranding. Guillermo del Toro playing a part in it, either as a producer or as a character, which I'm so happy for, because Del Toro has even said in the past that he felt like he's the albatross of video games. So now that he's actually being a part of Death Stranding, like, I'm so happy. And then fucking I keep on forgetting his name, but like the fucking Menskin being like officially, like, all the rumors, all the swirling like controversy over that, like, now that he's officially a part of the game, like, it's just gonna be like a just awesome video game now. I can't wait for it. It's not gonna come out until 2016 though, or 2020. That game is not gonna come out for a very long time.
I don't know. I think it might come out in 2018.
Minsklin, I can't, damn Swedish people and their fucking hard names. We got to see.
Sometimes you got to get that phlegm in there.
Obviously, Marvel announced this a few weeks back, but we finally got to see like kind of like a teaser trailer for the new Telltale game collaborating with Marvel Studios, Guardian of the Galaxy, which I'm excited for. If it's anywhere, like I said during the live broadcast, if it's anywhere near the level of Tales of the Borderland, then like a robbery or like a group like sort of shenanigans thing, it's gonna be amazing. What was the other big news that came out? Obviously, we saw Mass Effect Andromeda, but it was just more gameplay. It showed the different classes. It showed the Infiltrator going stealth. It showed the Vanguard class. Definitely showed the Soldier class. Typical like Mass Effect with the wheel, with all the different choice turning. What else? What other big things were announced at the...
Dude, Shovel Knight.
Oh, yeah, the prequel, but there's no official release date. But Spectral the Past, that's pretty cool. What else? Oh, you know what we didn't talk about? Because I think I might have skipped over on accident. Trending Gamer. Boogie coming out on top.
Boogie.
Trending Gamer. Dude.
I'm so happy Boogie got that
So
shit.
Boogie, I was really trying to push for Danny O'Dwyer, just because he's doing just brilliant things.
Did you cast your vote?
Yeah, I did cast my vote. I voted for Danny O'Dwyer. So, but I'm glad that if it wasn't for Boogie, you know, there's a lot of things that he's put out that is just basically like just awesome. He's just an awesome guy, and so congratulations to Boogie. What else? What are we missing? Anything
There was
major?
supposed to be more games on the fan creation, but
yeah, the fan creation thing, I think I got skipped completely. If I'm being honest, I think it got
Yeah, it
skipped
did.
completely. Yeah,
It did.
because
They didn't bother mentioning it.
Nintendo definitely was like, we will not
Shot down
Yeah.
2 of the fucking nominees
Yeah.
that were supposed to be on there.
We definitely didn't want
Like-
this to be here.
Like, come on, Bethesda and ID didn't give a shit about fucking Doom 64. Why the hell should Nintendo? But Nintendo's just...
We got to see more Prey. I think your predictions are pretty accurate. That it's very
Bioshock. Bethesda's
Bioshocky.
Bioshock.
Yeah, Bethesda's Bioshock. Trying to see what else. Great performances.
I mean, it might be a good game, but I'm just saying, like...
New trailer for Halo Wars 2. It just seems very like it. If this was like a first-person shooter, it'd be great, but it's a strategy game, so I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Yeah. But like I said, some games, like some game series, can actually do spin-offs like that. I mean, I liked Command and Conquer. I love Command and Conquer, and I ended up playing Renegade, and that was a first-person shooter, and I liked it. So
there's a
who knows?
I guess during the pre-show we didn't get to cover it, but Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, they showed like this trailer.
Yes.
Really excited for that. A lot of the gameplay, even though it was kind of like a really boring let's play of it, and they didn't show off the Switch version. They showed off the Wii U version of it.
Well, they're not going to show the Switch just yet. I mean, they didn't even... I mean, not until, like, they fully revealed the damn thing. Like, all we know is it's a tablet console, and it can pretty much be played anywhere in ways that I'm
shit
pretty sure
Hydro
the average person
Man,
isn't
though.
going to
What
do
about that
anything.
Hydro Man hype, dude? Wasn't he like the unsung hero of the night? Hydro Man?
God, dude. Like, Hydro Man was fucking amazing.
Totally Hydro Man, man. Just
I still think Gillette beats him.
Gillette. Oh,
Just
snap.
saying.
Snapperinos. And I think that's about it. Like, I can't I don't know what else there was as far as like announcements.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it feels
Fucking
like
Overwatch.
fucking Overwatch. I fucking love it. Love it. Ugh, love that game. So deserving, so incredible. Any post, anything you want to talk about as far? What about the quality of the show? Do you think the show itself? Do you think it getting better? Do you think it getting?
Oh, it got worse.
I thought it got better. Just
Dude, how many? Like, come on. How much of that was advertising? How much of it was like? Granted, I know they're supposed to be making money somehow, and they need a way of actually being able to fund like the event. But like, even some of the awards themselves felt like advertising.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got the architect of the PlayStation 4 about to fucking like hand the award over to somebody. Oh, it's a Sony game.
Yeah, I agree. That one was a little bit like too. That one was
Like,
a little bit too.
they would never ever make a Sony, like a guy from Sony hand over a game to a game that is not a Sony game.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely has it's the second year that Jeff Keighley's doing it, so it will get better with time. But like, they got to work better on the promotional stuff. Like, they got to do the subtlety promotional stuff.
And that guy that was pushing those advertisements.
Yeah, the Hydro, dude. The Hydro was just.
No,
like,
it wasn't just that. It was like he didn't advertise that because it's obviously not an advertisement. But it was going, oh yeah, we're selling like streamers 50% off, and it's like, fuck, dude, come on. But like I said, his eyes were just getting darker
and darker.
Kind of, he's looking pre-Lost Soul Keeley. He's starting to look there, man.
Is there anything else besides the quality? I thought the performances were great. I thought they're very trendy. They're very topical. Very with it. The kids love those two. I personally love Run the Jewel. That's just me. The other artists, they're not my forte in hip hop.
That
right
band
now.
with Doom though.
What? That Doom. That was brutal.
Oh yeah.
That was hella brutal.
The first song they ended up playing was Rip and Tear.
Rip and Tear.
Like the whole the whole intro part is actually called Dogma, and then it goes into Rip and Tear.
Let's go to chat. Thank you, by the way, everybody that hung out with us this evening. There were plenty of streamers co-broadcasting this. You could even gone to the mess that was the Twitch channel itself. Those who are checking out on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us this evening. It was such a blast. You know, the unsung heroes of all this is the fans. If it weren't for the fans, none of this would be possible. So
They
as
have
fans
the Doom
myself,
OST on Spotify.
the what?
The Doom OST is on Spotify.
Nice, but
Yeah, I know what I'm listening to tonight. Sorry, go on.
As far as like you know, announcements, review, like just everything that came out of it, a lot of people are going to be talking about this for a couple weeks. I think that there was some missing holes in the show. Definitely they should have addressed a lot of the issues going on in gaming right now. I feel like there still needs to be a you know, especially with the election year, like the false stories or just false advertising in games, like No Man's Lie. Like they could have at least tried to have like brought that up in some capacity, or just showing that like public relations with developers and publishing, you know, they have to become stronger. They have to become more honest, more transparent. We can't let the almighty dollar dictate like this industry anymore. We should let fans and creators kind of make the ties that bind stronger, rather than developers, or rather than publishers poisoning the messaging of like people's work and their talent. I think that's what really, somebody should have stepped up and done that. I felt like Boogie should have said something on that, or I bet Danny just released a video just explaining that whole message. And I think if he would have had any spotlight time on the stage tonight, he would have said something about games press, games media, content creators, because those are the ones who, as much as the games are important and fans are important and developers are important, it's like it's also the message and how these games are presented to us, and how those, depending on how you present it, can really make or break a game. Like this year, for the Steam Awards, like the last category was the Kickstarter game that did not disappoint me. And that was my made up title game, because I feel like a lot of like Kickstarters and like a lot of things that are given to us in gold wrapping, it poisons the game. If you were just honest to me, if you were just honest about the game from the get-go, I'd be more sympathetic to buy games that way, rather than just like this overhyped dubstep, like trailers. Like Logan is probably going to be a shitty game or a shitty movie, but the trailer was awesome. But I can't go into that movie.
Anything before the release can get you hyped for something, and then they can just do a complete 180 and shit on everything.
Yeah. And I think
No Man's Sky certainly did that.
Yeah, I think that's one lesson that we need to learn this year, is that a lot of games that came out this year, hype destroyed the Division that came out this year, and now it's becoming better, but the initial launch was really, it hurt it. No Man's Sky definitely really killed it. What other games, like, it's been a tough year, but I'm glad to celebrate it tonight with you guys and with Derek. Thank you so much. You know, we haven't been really collaborating together for a while, but I'm glad to see that your internet's better.
Oh my god, it's so much better.
So you should check out.
Literally 10 times better.
Yeah. Should go check out the Late Night Rivethead. Even though he hasn't been streaming at the late night, he's been streaming during the day.
I've been streaming during the day, but it's late night somewhere, right?
It's late night somewhere for real.
I actually might be doing it later now, so I'm probably going to be doing it like maybe around 6ish.
So give a plug, give a shout out. Where are you about? How can we find you? Go.
You can find me on Twitch at Late Night Rivethead. That is Rivit head, not the normal way of spelling rivet. I don't really use anything else.
You can find you on Twitter at Fignuts.
Figly nuts, yeah.
Figly Nuts.
I hardly use Twitter though, but you know.
Other than that, thank you for everybody coming out. I think that's gonna do it. Any last thoughts? Any final words? Salt.
Fucking Overwatch.
You just gonna let the salt flow out right now?
Fucking Overwatch, dude.
Fucking Overwatch.
And later maybe I'll take some aggression out on killing Reaper a couple of 100 times.
Of course, this has been the Out of Order Show presenting the Game Awards here on Twitch. But if you're watching on YouTube, it's the Out of Order Show channel. Thank you guys for looking us up, watching our videos, watching the live stream. If you support any of this content whatsoever, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Anything that we can do to improve this interaction for you guys. If you're watching the live stream, lurkers are number one. They are the true, mascots of Twitch. The silent masses behind the monster that is Twitch chat. If you like it, be sure to hit the follow button up above. I stream every Monday through Thursday. But you could also find me at ContinuePara on Twitter. I tweet out every time I go live. So that's the best way to find out how you can watch all of this nonsense here on the Out of Order Show. But with that, I think we're done. I think I'm going to get something to eat and then probably hop on to the Final Fantasy 15 bandwagon, which is going to be 2017's Game of the Year. If not Red Dead. Red Dead will probably take it, but it'll definitely win Best RPG next year for sure.
Yeah, oh god, I hope that game comes to PC. I really don't want to buy a console for it, but it looks fan-fucking-tastic.
So from me to you, thank you so much. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, everybody hanging out in chat and watching on the YouTubes. And we're done. We're out. Sayonara. Adios. Bye.